Good morning, Chris. Welcome.
Good morning,
Welcome.
Salvatore.
So,
Buongiorno.
buongiorno. So, Chris, today I do a few questions about the your story, music industry, mix. Okay, the first
course.
question.
I was one of the lucky ones where I was able to learn under an engineer named Steve Jerome at a very young age of 13. So I started back in the analog 24 track era, actually the birth of 24 track. So I started as an assistant, recording, engineering, wrapping mic cables, filling out track sheets. No internet, no computer, no digital, okay? So I actually learned the brick and mortar way, as we say, where you're taught under a mentor, but then, of course, you have to pick up your own techniques and learn about miking and minimal techniques, minimal effects, a little compression, a little EQ, a tape slap, a reverb, a plate, not an arsenal of tools, but mostly about what you could hear in your head. So I found that training to be very important, to actually have hands-on training making music every day. Well, to be honest, I never think of myself as I'm just another engineer that works with my team of friends. Look, as a big engineer to me is Bob Clearmountain, okay? And many of the other engineers that I know, Michael Brower, these are the big engineers. I'm the guy that came in after that. So I'm just happy that I was able to be involved in this team. So when you say, okay, if you want to classify me as a big engineer, maybe because I've been around for 1,000 years or more, I think the responsibility is to help the students, help the kids that are 17, 20 years old, and trying to direct them down a path of honesty and show them what's important in making music. I know it's not easy for everyone to share and teach, but I think somehow it works for me. And I really love to show people what I do, and some understand it and some don't. But the responsibility as an engineer and working with my group of engineers is to wave the flag and bring attention to what we do and support my team of record makers and engineers and producers and mixers, and try to help us all make better music and better sounding records. In a world where they think music is free, try to find a way to make that all work for everyone.
Thanks, Chris.
Well, my first win was my brother winning for Back in the High Life in 1988, I think, 87, 86, I think, for Record of the Year. And the reason that I feel it was my first win, and he won the Grammy, I didn't win it. He won it because he's my brother. Okay, and I was really happy for him that, hey, we got one, because it was a project that I helped a little bit get him involved in it. My actual official first Grammy win would have been for Green Day in 2004. So, but I always look at Back in the High Life by Steve Winwood as our first big leap into making like an amazing record that's recognized.
Thanks.
Well, no, my mixes are always a hybrid. Now, the tools that I use are what I'm familiar with, sitting in front of a solid state Logic 4000 console. Obviously, that's where I'm comfortable. I'm not changing from using that workstation, but I'm mixing from digital back to digital and using plugins and outboard a combination of all the tools to make it work. Now, have I done things where I'm mixing solely outside of that? Of course. But my real comfort zone is to have my instrument, the analog instrument. It all depends on the deadline and who I'm working for and how much I'm focused. I can solve many problems in one day, okay? And 2 or 3 or even 4. It all depends on the band, the artist. I think the most I ever did in one day was 7. But if I'm mixing a live show, it can be half the live show. It all depends on the focus and all depends on the complexity of the song. But really, if I'm in the mood, if I'm in the vibe, it's not how many I do, it's how many I need to do. Use your ears.
Perfect. The best 3 words I listen.
So my philosophy is simple. Use your ears and don't use the gear. Use the gear, but use the gear in a way where you hear what you want and get it there the simplest way possible. I was opening plugins on a session. I opened up an acoustic audio. It was like a Pultec style EQ.
Yes.
I was like, wow, I ended up using that. I said, wow, I've never seen this before, and it was different. So I'm very interested in seeing what else they make. Look, I'm open to all the tools that are out there. So if I can help them improve something, I'd like to hear what it sounds like. So I look to the future of trying some more acoustic audio plugins to hear what they sound like. Well, I don't know. I mix rock, I mix pop, I mix country. If the beat you call it trap, then it's a pop record, well, then it's a trap record. So I don't just say, oh, wow, I'm mixing trap music now. I'm just mixing music. I'm not always listening to the radio. I'm listening to my progressive rock, Steven Wilson. Thank you. Here's my advice to people that want to become an engineer, international, or look, the thing you need to know, my advice is simple, okay? Learn to work on music, okay? Whether it's recording it, engineering it, writing it, producing it. But to me, the most important thing is don't title yourself as a mixer or mastering engineer. For me, I'm an engineer. Okay, I'm an engineer that just happens to mix a lot of songs, so people call me a mixer, okay? I don't want to say, oh, I'm going to title myself engineer, producer, mixer, master. You know what? You're an engineer when you mix a few things and they become popular and people call you for mixing, then you can call yourself a mixer. But be humble. Don't try to make yourself into something you're not. Start out at being really good at an engineer. And then once you're recognized for your mixes, let them call you a mixer. Don't instantly call yourself something without earning it. This is a really hard question,
yes.
Okay? I found for someone who visits Switzerland every year, being part Swiss and being part Italian, that in Italy is the warmest and friendliest place to visit with people. The food, the romance, it has so many beautiful places, so much history, and I've made so many great friends in here, and my heart now kind of lives in Italy, and I really believe that part of me is here, and I enjoy all my visits, and especially here to see you, Salvatore, in beautiful Lake Como. Even though it's raining and cold, I find the people I meet here and the generosity of the Italian musicians, and an artist I work with, Caparezza from Puglia, Antonio Porcelli, who's a friend of mine, everyone I meet, and all the artists I know, Valentina Parise, these are wonderful, beautiful people, and I look forward to visiting every time. Well, thanks for having me. From Improve Your Mix, I'm Lord-Alge here with Salvatore.
Bye bye. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.